What's up, everybody, and welcome to a podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Thomas, but I'm not your only host. I got a co-host. Who could it be? Drum roll.
Yo, what's up? What's up, fellas? Rocking it, not from the sixth floor studio anymore, though. What?
I thought I was rid of you.
No. You can't get rid of me that soon. There's Monday Night Football and there's pizza here. It's like, of course, that's all. Actually, all it was the pizza. That's the only reason I'm here, really.
You know, this answers the million-dollar question we get a lot. People want to know if you and I just argue for the camera or just when the microphones run. We're not getting paid right now, and we're going to sit here and argue.
Yeah, that pretty much goes on all day. I mean, even when we're watching the game, we're watching Cleveland Browns, the Philadelphia Eagles. Even during that game, in time, we almost get into a little bit of fisticuffs here.
So this is a big day for you. This is not only a new podcast, but this is probably like the first football game you've watched all year, isn't it?
Yeah, this is actually the first football game. So you've downgraded us down to what is it, the 30-inch TV or something
30
like
inch.
that?
This is a 47-inch 1080p brand new Vizio.
I don't know. I expected more out of you, Thomas.
Well, that's because
we're down in Thomas's basement here. His mom's upstairs cooking up some meatloaf or something like that.
I don't live at my mom's house. Knock it off. And we got a 105-inch screen in the other room. But I figured we'd come in here, we'd talk out the podcast, we'd watch some football, eat some pizza on the little baby 47-inch screen. And then we'd go over there. I mean, cut me some slack.
All right. It's better than my setup, let me say that.
Yeah.
But I do got my mom cooking up food upstairs, so it'll just be like, yo, Ma! Bring down the macaroni, damn it.
Yeah, so you got to confuse. I live with my girlfriend, so you live at home with your parents.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
So we got that out there. All right, so it's no secret to everybody that you and I have a bunch of free time on our hands now.
That's true.
We got my neighbors who are trying to park up the hill right now. You can probably hear that car going up.
That is one steep ass hill.
It is a very steep hill.
Yeah.
You see hear rain when they'll get up there and their tires will start squealing. And this one guy tries to park his stupid old 1960s truck up there every time. It's a nightmare. But enough about cars and my hill. So what have you been doing with all this free time you got?
Well, actually, I've been spending a lot of time watching YouTube clips of old boxing fights. Of course, I got a tremendous amount of time right now. I'm spending, I'll be up at like 4 a.m. checking out like old Andrew Galata fights, old Roy Jones Jr. fights. Pretty entertaining stuff. I should have been watching the sport more.
Now let me guess. Your favorite boxer is Andrew Galata.
Well, that's because I just told you that. Now, Andrew Galata...
You just told me you were watching him. I'm just thinking of, all right, what kind of style is Shanker going to appreciate here? And I think
one of my favorite boxers.
As thuggish and doesn't follow the rules. And am I right?
He's one of my favorite boxers because I think he's an extremely entertaining guy. Okay? Every single fight that I've seen Andrew Galata fight, he'll either quit. You don't know if he's going to quit at the end of the round. Okay? It can be a knockout ending. It can be he quits. Or it can be like in the fight that I was watching. This his second bout with Riddick Bowe after he got disqualified for low blows in his first fight with Riddick Bowe. He came back and he landed this amazing 3-punch combo to this dude's dick. Just sent him to the mat. And the worst part is he was winning both of those fights. He was like dominating Riddick Bowe.
Now, why do you think this happens? Like if he was obviously a competent boxer. And then, for whatever reason...
That's questionable.
Well, he was decent enough to get these fights.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, he just starts punching guys in the balls. Like, what happens? Like, he can't stop himself.
Yeah, he cannot help himself. And that's what's so funny. It's like, I know he's not doing it to be funny, but it's just extremely entertaining that the dude will just lose it at some point. He'll be dominating the fight. All he has to do is just... keep a level head for like 3 minutes. That second Bowe fight, it was the end of the 9th round in a scheduled 10-round fight. And he just can't resist himself. He's just like, dude, I can put this dude down with 3 dick punches. I know it. And he delivered.
So you've got to appreciate that because as someone who can't stay composed for minutes at a time, I mean, you guys are kind of like the same person.
Dude, I can respect his upbringing. He grew up obviously in Poland, rough streets of Poland. Okay, and these are some of the fighting techniques out there. Boxing is a world sport, and this is the boxing they practice out there. I don't think it should be. You should block those punches to the dick if you can't take it.
So they're like the rough streets of Poland. It's just like all those Polish jokes out there. He just couldn't take it. And he just snapped.
Well, dude, I don't know how many people I'm sure he's a big kid, even when he was younger. So I don't know how many people would be dissing him.
All right. Well, speaking of big kids and snapping, Charles Barkley, he's pissed off
Again?
Dude,
See,
he's always pissed.
it's like once every week. It's like Charles Barkley's gotta make a get on the news and get on the horn about something. What is it this time?
All right, this time it's the race thing again. So, according to ESPN.com, Charles Barkley says that Auburn.
He's black.
Who, Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that was the new this is breaking news.
Well, no, because that's not breaking news. Because he wrote a book about that.
Oh, okay.
So he is mad not about being black, but because Auburn's new coach isn't black. So according to ESPN.com, it says former Auburn and NBA star Charles Barkley ripped the school he attended on Monday, saying the only reason the Tigers did not hire Buffalo's Turner Gill as the school's new football coach is because Gill is black. So Auburn hired their former defensive coordinator in 2004 when they were undefeated, Gene Chizik, who was 5-19 at Iowa State the last 2 years. And Barkley says, I think race was the number one factor. You can't say it's not about race. Or you can say it's not about race, but you can't compare the two resumes and say Chizik deserved the job. Out of all the coaches they interviewed, Chizik probably had the worst resume. So Buffalo's coach Gill actually interviewed for this job, and he's the coach at Buffalo and led them to an 8-5 record. They're the MAC conference champions, which, I mean, granted, that's not a big conference.
It's not Iowa State. I mean, it's Iowa State. What did he go?
5-19. 5-19.
Okay, so that might still be equivalent to 8-5 for what in the MAC? Dude,
I mean,
are you kidding me? What team? I can't even name a single team in the MAC.
But I mean, what about 5-19? What do you see there that makes you think that this guy could be a head coach? Now, he was a defensive coordinator on a team that was 13-0 and apparently scored a lot of points on defense. And he went to another school, I don't remember where it was, Tennessee or Texas or somewhere, and was a co-defensive coordinator and did well there. So he does have some pedigree there, but he's had the chance to show it as a head coach, and now he's not done anything there. So it's like, SEC, it's tough. If you can't cut it at Iowa State over there, I mean, you're going to the SEC right now with Alabama the way it is, and Florida and LSU. I don't understand what you think he's going to do.
Well, I'm just saying it's black coaches, black head coaches in football are not. It's not like new ground. It's not breaking new ground. There's been black head coaches. There's black head coach in the NFL. Okay, so I just don't see this as I don't see where the substance is here. Because
but see, that's what you just said right there. There's a black head coach in the NFL. What people are saying, but how many are there right now?
What, Romeo Crennel? There's Tony Dungy. There's who's the Cincinnati coach?
Oh yeah, Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis. Right. I mean, you got.
All right, see, those guys aren't doing anyone's a favor. Tony Dungy.
Okay, but
Romeo Crennel stinks. So
okay, but
there are a few, and it has gotten better in the NFL, but it's still not. And the problem is even worse in Division I college football, where there's just a handful out of over 100 schools. I think what Barkley's saying is, look, obviously this is a problem, and it's really been a problem in the SEC. And clearly, this guy, if you just compare resumes, now he may have gone in and killed in the interview, and maybe Gill stunk, but I don't know. I think it's good that Barkley is speaking up on this, and he seems to be coming from an intelligent point of view. He's not just yelling.
In comparison to what are you saying about LeBron?
Yeah.
LeBronius.
I mean, sometimes he just does stuff to get attention. This one, he's backing it up, saying, look at the numbers. It doesn't make sense.
No, but see, isn't Auburn taking the hit? If you're not hiring the best capable coach, you're the one. Your program is the one taking a hit, and there's plenty of other college programs. What's wrong with Buffalo? Gill's still got a job at Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo, I mean, that's not the same city it was.
Okay, so then that's
100 years
insulting
ago.
for Barkley to even suggest that. That's a great program. You know what I mean?
Nobody wants to be in Buffalo. Man, you didn't want to be in Buffalo. You didn't stick around.
I'm just saying. Yeah, and apparently the Bills aren't sticking around either. But
look, right now, you don't have a job right now. The world is your oyster, Shanker. Why don't you go back to Buffalo and just revitalize the city, stimulate the economy?
Give me that job. I'll coach Buffalo. What are they? Buffalo Buffaloes? Yeah, I'll coach them. No problem. We're about to rock this MAC bitch next year. I'm going undefeated.
I don't think so. I think their coach is like, oh, this is my one chance to get out. Now he's gonna be all sad. And it's probably about 6 degrees there, and it's snowing, and he didn't get the Auburn job. He's just bummed out.
I don't know. Personally, I just feel like this dude will get a job somewhere else. You get a better record in the 8-5. You'll get a job somewhere else. You move up. So at some point in time, you can't ignore it.
So I guess he could always switch up. If he can't get the NFL, maybe he could start in a lower league like the Arena League and work his way up, right?
Well, not next season apparently. The AFL is apparently going to be canceling their 2009 season.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yeah. So all of the owners got together on a conference call Sunday night, and they voted to basically dump the 2009 season for financial concerns. Obviously, advertisers are a little bit reluctant to be spending right now, and it has hit the AFL. The Cleveland Gladiators. I mean, you wouldn't think that such a storied franchise like the Cleveland Gladiators would be laying off people, but they laid off 6 people on Monday. It's just like, dude, just crazy. Can you believe that? The Gladiators.
I didn't even know that was a team.
Yeah, neither did I.
I mean, it's kind of surprising to me though, because I mean, I guess the writing was on the wall a little bit when EA announced that they were dropping the AFL license. I guess they probably should have read into that a little bit more. But I mean, by all accounts, the league has been around for, you told me earlier, was it 22 years?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that either. I mean, can you believe that it's been around for 22 years?
That's shocking. I would have figured they would have started something, and then like that would have folded, and then they started a new league a little bit later. But I mean, it's been around for a long time, and by all accounts, I mean, they had the celebrity owners, with Bon Jovi and Jaworski, had the team, and it just seemed like it was a pretty sturdy league. And
no, I mean, do you think that they can get together with like Vince McMahon and kind of make like an AFL XFL hybrid kind of thing where it's like, you got, of course, 16 teams in the AFL, in the Arena Football League. You mix that in with, like, I don't know, 10 franchises from the XFL. You got a 26 team league. And it's a little bit crazier. You got, the scantily clad women bouncing around the field. I mean, that could be entertaining. Maybe that's the ticket.
Wait, are these scantily clad women? Are they playing?
It could be the players. That's true. But okay, here's the one interesting thing I thought about the AFL folding for the 2009 season. Team executives listed several problems with AFL structure. Player salaries need to be tied to the league revenue, said Michael Young, executive vice president of the Colorado Crush. Okay, now the amazing thing about that is that you have a spokesperson for a team, an owner, okay, that's essentially saying, executive vice president, that's essentially saying that, okay, players' salaries need to be tied to league revenue. That's a statement of how bad the market is right now, where the team is the one that's saying that, hey, wait a minute, these players are making too much, it's like, we're not making any money, versus usually, like in the NFL, it's constantly the Players Association that's saying, okay, yeah, player salaries need to be tied to league revenue and stuff like that, and that's absurd, no way, you know what I mean?
Well, I think one of the highest paid players in the league, I was reading, I think it was the MVP last year, one of the guys made $75,000, so, I mean, that just makes you wonder, how bad were they doing, that if they're saying the player salaries are too high, and the highest paid player is making $75,000. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, you're playing in big arenas. There are a lot of sold out ones. They have a TV deal. They had a video game deal. How broken is your business that you can't pay these players? I mean, if this guy was playing 75 and he was the highest paid, what was the lowest? 20?
Probably.
I mean, if you can't make a business out of that,
some of the ball boys, some of the water boys make more than that.
They probably didn't even get to drink water.
It's not real water.
Jeez, I mean I don't know that's kind of surprising. I mean, it's sad. I mean, I didn't watch a whole lot of games, but I did like watching them when I was on there because the game was never over. Like, oh man, this team's down by 30 with like 6 minutes left. Oh no, it's not over.
No, but I think they just need a new angle, like spikes on the walls or something like that. You know what I mean? Or something. I mean, something that adds brings in a new audience. Like, oh, that dude just got impaled at the 20 or something.
But then you got even more people to pay because the other people are dying.
Dude, there's plenty more people to replace them. If these guys are playing for that small amount of money, they're willing to take that kind of injury, okay, playing a sport like this for, $20,000, like you said, league minimum or something like that, then what's the big deal? It's like there's plenty more dudes. It's like water boy, suit up, dude. You're in.
I guess so. Well, as you hear it raining outside, there's finally some rain. Actually, that might be hail.
Yeah,
I think it's getting hail.
That's how you guys roll around here, huh?
Yeah, this is. You probably go check your car. It's got a bunch of dents in it.
Dude, that's not being. This seems like it might be a sketch neighborhood. I did pack my knife though, just in case. Cut somebody.
I live on the top of the hill, baby. I'm the king. All right, so the AFL's cutting jobs, and in the video game world, Electronic Arts, they've been cutting jobs as well. They have already laid off 6% of its employees, which is approximately 600 positions. And there's going to be an additional round of cost cutting, which is going to be layoffs, facility oh man, I can't even say that. Consolidations and a software release list leaner than 2008. This is according to Kotaku. EA's big. They're getting hit hard by this. They're saying that John Riccitiello said, while we saw significant improvement in the overall quality of key products this year, we are disappointed that our holiday slate is not meeting our sales expectations. And he says EA is taking steps to reduce our cost structure and improve the profitability of our business. And they're going to be cutting SKUs from the bottom levels of profitability.
Yeah, well, they can start with those big head games. Dude, I don't know what they're doing. They waste a lot of money. And I'm not even that concerned about their cuts on the development staff. I don't know how many they obviously didn't split up that figure there of where they're cutting the jobs. But I know that they spend a lot of money in marketing these games. I would say that that's probably more than what they spend in producing these games in total. You know what I mean? So, yeah, as long as they continue to pump out the money in marketing the games and they're putting out games like Big Head, I'm sure they'll still move copies, but the games all stink.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they're saying, all right, look, our games are better than ever. They were pointing to the high Metacritic rating of many of their games, but it's just, they have so many games out there, and I think they just need to realize maybe don't just cut these completely, but maybe take another year in between, even if you're not adding that into development. Make us want a game. I mean, one of the rumored titles to get the cut is Need for Speed, which has been around forever.
Yeah.
And has historically been a fantastic selling series. But now they're talking about cutting it, and I don't blame them. I played this year's, and it had a lot of the stuff that made me like Most Wanted a few years ago, but it's just every year. I don't need a Need for Speed every year. I got Burnout. I got Forza. You got Test Drive that that came out a few years ago, but that was great. You had a couple of Need for Speeds in there. You just don't need that many racing games.
But see, and I've been saying this over and over again, that Ekberg never listens to me, okay? There's way too many goddamn racing games. And they all do the same thing, okay? Yes, there's an audience for F1, there's an audience for NASCAR, there's an audience for Street. But there's probably like 20 racing games, okay? And they, probably 15 of those are street racing games. You you gotta avoid the police and... they're all the exact same thing. I just don't see how you can get that same market to devote an extra $60 to, oh wow, another racing game.
Well, and they were artificially creating these different niches for their games. So like in Burnout, you'll notice, oh, you can't customize your cars, you don't get to buy cars, and there's no cops. That's Need for Speed. That's different. So if you want that, you have to buy that. So it's like, instead of combining those two franchises and making an amazing game, I mean, could you imagine Burnout with cop chases and cars that not only can you buy all these different cars, but then you can morph them and create your own? I mean,
well, I find it amazing that these guys don't steal. What was that game that had the actual city of LA? What was that?
Midnight Club.
Midnight Club. How is it that these guys aren't stealing ideas from one another? If every single game does one thing right, oh wow, the crashes in this game are, and the car damage is very realistic in this game. Versus in this game, oh wow, the physics are really realistic. Why can't they just borrow? Okay, these guys obviously did it right. We're gonna steal their idea.
Well, I think they do. I mean, I think like in Midnight Club, they had cop chases in there. There wasn't much to them. It wasn't very developed. And a lot of games have done the open world city. And if you look at compare them to Need for Speed and Burnout, that they have a lot of the same races in there. It'll be get from point A to point B the fastest. Here's a circuit race. Here's more of a head-to-head race. Now here's a tournament where you're racing 6 guys. They do have a lot of this stuff, but even then, they just seem to get stuff too wrong. I mean, Midnight Club, it was just something as simple as the difficulty, which they've released a patch for. They did make the beginning of the game easier, but still didn't alleviate problems where, I guess there's no, a lot of these games where you wreck, you can hit select to warp yourself right back on the track.
Yeah.
They didn't have that in there, so if you hit a wall and you're going the wrong way, you gotta, all right, hold on, let me back up and turn around, and you're doing a 3-point turn, and everyone else is just gone.
See, I think that's where they need to borrow something from Grand Theft, okay? Where you just, dude, if you're pointing the wrong way, it's faster just to get out of the car and jack somebody else. It's like, dude, you're going the right way, man. Get the hell out of your car.
Or you just got a rocket launcher on top. And...
Yeah. Or you know what I mean? You just rail some bullets in his car, and yeah, suddenly you got a new Acura. You know what I mean? You're back in the race.
So I guess they're gonna have to. They might be taking that idea. They gotta revisit something because a lot of the stuff just isn't selling, and I agree that I think there is a market for some of these big head games that you hate so much. I don't necessarily like them, but I think they gotta revisit it and cut some of this crap, and not just EA. When you just look at how much garbage there is on the Wii, and you think of big head, you think of the Wii, but I mean the other consoles don't have this much crap. Now they have different kinds of crap. They got terrible movie license crap and a billion racing games. They got that stuff, but I think the casual market is just so full of just garbage, and it's even worse for like handhelds where the development cost is cheaper. If you go to EB and you're trying to find a DS game, oh my God, it is covered with there's pets, and then it's not just pets, but there's like a dog one, and there's a cat one, and there's a pony one, and then there's one I think where you get like a couple of the zoo
You
animals.
have all these titles here, Aaron.
What are you talking
You're
about?
reading them off.
No, it's not true. That's not even true. But then there's National Geographic Panda, and there's Nintendogs, and then there's cats with a Z and dogs with a Z, and then there's all the Bratz games. It's crazy. You have to just look through shelves and shelves just to find a decent game, and chances are you've probably already played it.
Okay, but then why is it that these guys don't understand that? Oh, well, where the cuts need to come from. That's where they need to just cut those projects completely.
Well,
Those are the things that, dude. It's not your mainstream sports games that are not delivering EA. It's those BS games that you guys are tossing out there. BS games that you guys are tossing out there.
Well, I think as you and I can both attest that management sometimes makes interesting decisions when it comes to what you're going to cut and what you're not going to cut. So, maybe they just got to learn the hard way. And I think they were able to skate by for so long that when the market was decent, that the people maybe didn't care as much. Oh, this is a $20 DS game. I'll pick it up. Maybe it's worth a look. Now people are looking at it going, man, you know what? I'm not going to pick that up. Or maybe I'm going to go read a review of it. And they get home like, oh my God, I almost bought that crap. And they just avoid it. Or people have their fill of crap. Maybe your daughter already has cats. And they have pets cats. And they already have the pony games and the vet games, and maybe they're just saturated.
I'm gonna get on the phone with EA. They need to cut one more job. They need me desperately. Okay, they are a train wreck. Okay, a lot of these things I would just if they even hire me as a consultant, I can immediately make it. I'll immediately make this a profitable holiday season.
Dude, it's like December 13th. You're saying there's 12 days till Christmas. You can turn it around for EA in 12 days.
Well, I will say they're probably already profitable, but you got to give a piece of coal in some of these guys talking. Whoever came up with the idea for Facebreaker, that dude needs to leave right now. He needs to be escorted out. Okay, some of these big head games out. Okay, well, what are some of these other bogus games they're making? EA Big, did they get rid of the rest?
Well, now it's EA. I don't know what is the one at the beginning of Facebreaker. It's not big anymore. It's like Extreme or something.
Yeah,
stupid.
they need to get rid of all that garbage. Okay?
All right. Well, you know who else needs your help? The Buffalo Bills, who
they're
at one
beyond
point,
repair.
Dude, at one point weren't they like 5-1, and now
they were like 5-0. We're undefeated.
And now they're like 5 and I don't even know.
Yeah.
8. So yesterday was a big heartbreaker. Up with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go, basically need to run out the clock. And against the Jets, who Favre has kind of fallen apart, and that whole team has. And instead of running out the clock, they decided to roll Lossman out for a pass, which turned into a fumble and a touchdown for the Jets. Heartbreak for the Toronto/Buffalo Bills. Of course, you didn't watch the game, right?
No, I didn't, but I did see that there's 2 minutes. They still got a free timeout at the 2-minute warning. How many timeouts did the Jets have?
I don't know that they had any left. I mean, they still needed to get a first down, but the ball should have been on the ground. Now they needed to run the ball and run clock out. Then you punt it, and all right, maybe they get it back with 20 seconds left or something.
Obviously, Lossman sucks, okay? He has no awareness of the situation. He doesn't realize that, dude, you cannot possibly fumble the football in a situation like that. It doesn't even matter if you take a sack. Just do not fumble the football in a situation. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? They find ways to lose games that you don't think that they'd be able to.
Now, do you put this season on Dick Duran, or do you just say, look, they were playing over their heads for a while,
I think
and now they've come back to earth, or has he lost the team? I mean,
no,
what's going on there?
I think give that Dick Duran another chance. I think if I look down their roster, They really shouldn't have even started out that hot, to be honest with you. They don't have that kind of talent.
Now the truth comes out.
Well, obviously, but you know what I mean? It's like you want to think that, oh, wait, maybe this, might be the resurgence. I haven't seen the Bills good in such a long time. We haven't made the playoffs in like 9 years, 10 years, right? So it's, you want to believe that, oh, wait, maybe they're on the right track. Obviously, they're not going to go deep or anything like that, but you'd like to see them make the playoffs, and obviously now it's...
Now it's playoffs. The Bears are still looking okay. They had a 14-point lead against the Saints in Chicago, and they let that slip away. It's on Thursday Night Football. They ended up winning. They got a nice pass interference call against Devin Hester and put him in position to win. So they won that by a field goal. I was watching that game. I was pretty happy. Things are going well, and it starts slipping away, and I was like, oh my God, if the Bears blow a 14-point lead on the same day I get laid off from my job, I don't even know what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do to me. I don't know what I'm going to do to the Bears.
Charles Tillman's
It's probably going to be a murder-suicide. Yeah.
Charles Tillman and then you?
No, probably Lovie Smith.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, probably would have taken out Lovie Smith.
Jeez.
But
yeah, I don't think you could pick out Charles. Charles is a big dude, man.
He's always hurt.
That's true.
But I was happy. I was sweating it. I was like, "There's no way that today can get any worse." And then it almost got worse, and then it got better. And things are looking up, and things are looking up for the Cowboys, who had. I couldn't believe this because everyone says it's going to happen with T.O. All right, he's a baby in San Francisco. He's a baby in Philly. He's going to be a big baby and wear out his welcome in Dallas. And that had looked like it'd been all right for a while, and then all of a sudden, Terrell Owens is mad that Jason Witten is getting too many looks from Tony Romo, and he thinks it's because they're best friends.
Well, no, I do have a problem with it, too, because every year I don't draft Jason Witten in my fantasy football team, and I always take a huge beating, because it's like, dude, what the hell? This is like Colston from a couple years ago. Dude, no tight end should be catching this many balls. It's like, yeah, you gotta go to your wide, you gotta go to your stud. You know what I mean?
But the thing is...
It's like I drafted T.O.
If you look at it, T.O. has been targeted like 25 more times, has more catches, has 6 more touchdowns. What is he bitching about?
He needs a lot more touchdowns than that.
Oh,
when I draft T.O. in the second round, I expect touchdown production. He expects touchdown production.
All right, look,
it's like it's a total disappointment.
You're getting the fantasy world mixed up with the real world again.
But I think he's got a good.
That happens a lot with you, but. No, look, he's getting targeted, he's got more catches, and he has more touchdowns. Yes, now the team has been slumping, they haven't been playing well.
Versus a tight end, he shouldn't even have to compete against a tight end.
He's not. He has way more catches and touchdowns and looks. He's not. But instead of saying,
what's
all right,
way more?
Like I said, I think it was like 25.
Okay, 25 looks over the course of 11 games, 12 games?
Yeah.
No, 14 games.
I don't know how many games,
but
and he has like 11 more catches.
Amount.
Well, then T.O. goes out in that game and drops the first pass, drops a sure touchdown.
Dude, he's always done that, but that's fine.
Well, that's the thing.
No, but he'll still deliver. No, he still deliver touchdowns. It's like you just got to make sure you throw the touchdown passes his way.
And Witten's out there with broken ribs. I mean, you just don't bitch about that. Yeah, that team has problems right now, and yes. Romo overthrew Witten in that Pittsburgh game, and it did cost them the game, okay? I understand that. That's not how you express yourself and express your disappointment. And then you don't go leak it to the media. It's just, he's a big baby, and whatever, man.
Yeah, but he's got the skills to back it up. Okay, I'll agree with you to some extent. He kind of has to shut up, all right? But I'm just saying, guys that back it up, they can pretty much say whatever the F they want, okay? And in fact, I think the Giants are going to pay the penalty for this whole Plaxico burst thing.
The Giants, he shot himself in the leg.
Yeah, and he was walking around when he turned himself into the police just fine 2 days later. So it's like, dude, he's fine. It's like make sure he's in there in the playoffs. They're not going anywhere. They just killed their potential playoff run. They're not gonna go. They're not gonna run the tables like they did last year.
So it's their fault that he had
it's their fault that they suspended him.
Well, he had an illegal weapon in a club, and he shot himself in the leg, and then he pretended to be somebody else, and then he had a teammate try to go hide the gun.
He shot himself. That he self-imposed a penalty.
No, he's retarded. Then they should just get rid of him based on that.
Doesn't matter what's in his head. The fact is he can.
There's not much.
He's 6'5" and he can pull down passes. He can pull down Eli Manning duck throws.
Yeah, he can pull those down when he's not hurt. and when he's not getting suspended for not going to the trainer, and when he's actually practicing, he's a
Dude,
handful.
he doesn't need all that crap. Practice and all this stuff is for those scrubs. It's like once it's playoff time, the fact is he's Plaxico Burress. He's 6'5", and he can catch the fade.
And he's off the roster because he shot himself in the leg.
And that's the Giants' fault. It's not his fault. Well, it's partially his fault.
Yeah.
Let's split the difference, huh?
All right. Well, this is the end of our first podcast. It doesn't have a name yet. We don't know what we're gonna do with this. We'll argue. We'll talk sports. We'll talk games. If you guys have any ideas, we have an email address. It is shankerandaaron@gmail.com. Shanker, you'll notice I put you first on there.
No, it's Shanker and, like, is N spelled out or is
A-N-D.
Okay.
Shanker, ANDAARON @gmail.com. Put you first.
I'm impressed with that.
Because I just knew as I was trying to come up with it, I was like, he's just going to whine and cry.
Yeah, I'll demand
Aaron,
that we change it.
AT, what's the deal with this? Why am I not first? You know who's start. I should be the one like, it should be Shanker, and then in smaller letters with Aaron.
No, I did. No, you were telling me that you were rehearsing with this microphone to make sure it worked right and everything like that. And you were actually doing me.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. That's what you had yourself saying as when you were.
Oh, I was basically like, this is Aaron Thomas, and I'm joined with Shanker Srinivasan. Shanker, what's up? Yo, AT, man, how's it going? All right, yo, Tango, Alpha, Bravo, Niners, 4-7, you're clear.
Hey, yo, don't steal that. That's good stuff.
Oh, Kobe Bryant is so awesome, man. Let me tell you, man, he could do this in his sleep. Come on, Aaron, you can't be serious.
No, I don't use phrases like that. I definitely don't use that tone.
Yes, you do. I mean? Your voice gets all high, and you, come on.
What? When
right there. See?
No, didn't happen. Aaron, you know.
I win.
Aaron,
all right,
I should punch you. I'm actually close enough. Now I don't have like a full sound studio in between me and you. It's like usually we got monitor and stuff. Now it's like
it's not an HR violation if you punch me.
I can start throwing out jabs in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to fend off Andrew Galata over here. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week or maybe sooner if we feel like it. I don't know. We're working out the kinks here. We're just trying to keep you guys entertained. We know we don't want you to be sad for Christmas. Shanker's delivering lumps of coal to like the face breaker people, but other than that, we're delivering joy. Thanks for listening. Say bye, Shanker.
Late.